One Piece is not just one of the most popular anime series of all time, it's one of the most popular pieces of fiction of all time, reaching a staggering 1,000 plus manga chapters, 950 plus anime episodes, a total of 16 feature-length films, an infinite amount of merchandise, and even an indoor theme park in Tokyo Tower. So yeah, it's pretty easy to see why One Piece has been the best-selling manga series of all time. Now, despite having all that success in many different forms of media, the one form of media I've always felt like One Piece fell flat in were is video games. One Piece games have always been at their very best just okay to me, personally. Like, they don't always suck or anything. The games just never give me that same enjoyment I get while watching and reading the series like how other games for other series do, such as Naruto and Dragon Ball Z. So today I'm here to show you my idea of what the One Piece game of my and most others' dreams will actually look like. So let's start with genre and features. So the genre of this game is a no-brainer for me. It would be an open world online action RPG. One Piece is a big old world out there, so it needs to be open world. There's a lot of characters, a lot of places you should be able to visit, such as, iconic islands, iconic places such as Whole Cake Island. That's very far out there. That's more like Water 7 or like Marine Forest, places like that, like very iconic landscapes. It's a big world out in the One Piece world. I feel like it should be open world action RPG because One Piece is honestly, the characters do level up honestly in One Piece, and there's the action aspect of One Piece. You're fighting other players and stuff like that. So the online multiplayer aspect would look something similar to like GTA Online. No hub worlds. I fucking hate hub worlds so much. Like, I hate like how hub worlds keep you from action. I get why they're there. They're there to like kind of like act as like a menu. That's like not really a menu, but it's like a menu. So I get why they make hub worlds, but I actually hate hub worlds. So in this game, you would just kind of like plop in and you're kind of just in that server or in the world that you're in at that moment. No hub worlds. You just go straight in there, and it would be a third-person camera, and you're interacting with other players and NPCs. The graphics of this game will look very similar to that of One Piece World Seeker. I feel like they did really good in that game. It's realistic, but still cartoonish. It has that One Piece feeling to it. I would have said a secondary contender would actually be the Pirate Warriors game, but I feel like I really like the World Seekers graphics. I don't know. I just really like that, the way they move, the movement, the way everything looked. It looked good. They made One Piece game. They made One Piece look realistic, but cartoonish, if that makes sense. Now let's get into a very big feature that I feel like should be in this game: character customization. So obviously, everyone wants their own One Piece character. Everyone wants to use their own Devil Fruit. Everyone wants to use their own weapons and stuff like that. I feel like the perfect One Piece game would be, you would have to be able to create your own character. I feel like, there are so many different characters in One Piece, so many unique, abilities, cultures, races. Like, you have to, for it to be the perfect One Piece game, you have to allow everyone to have that same experience, to follow their own journey, and so through their character's eyes. So yeah, character customization, I would like it to be very much better than that of Xenoverse 2 or Naruto to Boruto to Shinobi Striker. I feel like those were okay character customizations, but for One Piece, you have to take it up there. It's so unique, with the damn sizes between the characters. Like Jesus, like look at Luffy and look at Katakuri. Like, the size difference is crazy, but like it never feels like that. But you can have that size difference between players as well. I feel like that'd be pretty cool. The character customization of this game will have to be pretty lit, like talking like Soul Calibur level lit, and even above that. Like, not crazy to where like like even moving around limbs and stuff like that. Like, you have the long arm tribe. You have guys with long ass arms and long ass legs. So like, you need this needs to be a top tier character customization studio. You will be able to choose your character's race / species, depending on how you look at it, the faction you're a part of, and which of the 4 Blue Seas your character is from as well. I feel like I want to get into that later. That'd be pretty cool. So let's start with the races. There would be 4 races that your characters could be a part of: the humans, fishmen, sky people, and minks. One race that that I thought about putting in, but like it isn't really a race because there's only one person, is cyborgs. So frankly, Frankie is the only cyborg in One Piece. So I don't feel like it's fair to call him a race. You know, I don't feel like it's fair to call that a race. So he that's what makes Frankie unique. So he's a cyborg. No one else can be a cyborg. I mean, pushing spoiler territory, but like Queen is looking like a cyborg, but that still would only make 2 cyborgs in the entirety of One Piece. It's still not enough to call it a race. And then they're just humans with robotic pieces in their body. And yeah, so humans would just be regular humans, but in this game, like I said, you would be able to scale them up different sizes, and it would be pretty big sizes. So like I feel like the tallest a human could be, or any other character could be, is about 16 feet, like Katakuri's height. And the shortest would be, I think the shortest human we've seen in One Piece is like Luffy's height, or like a child. But like as an adult, like about Luffy's like one of the shortest guys in One Piece. Not saying something because he's like 5'11" type stuff. Like it's real crazy. So yeah, so that's a height difference you can have in this game. Fishermen will obviously have an advantage in the water when swimming. You will be able to move much faster in the water than other players. Your attack power would be much more powerful in the water. Yeah, you can use Fishman, Karate, all that. Next is Sky People. We know a lot about Skypeans and stuff like that. They're the ones that created diodes and whatnot and the wafers. They have wings in their back. So maybe as a Sky person, you will have like earlier accesses to diodes and wafers. You also have wings on your back. They can't fly, so they would just be there to have that. And finally, Minks. Minks would be pretty cool. It would be like having a furry, being the furry in One Piece. And they have multiple abilities such as like Electro in the Sulong form that like I feel like you can implement into this game very easily. So yeah. So those are the 4 races, and to correspond with the 4 races, there would be 4 factions: pirates, obviously; Marines, obviously; Revolutionary Army, and the 4th one, bounty hunters. Now that last one sounds kind of weird, but hear me out. So let's start with pirates. So obviously, as a pirate, you will be able to create your own crew. You can be the captain of it, or you can join a crew or whatever. That crew will have roles, and you guys would be pirates, just going around selling the seas, being pirates, doing what you want, fighting Marines or whoever gets in your way. Obviously, you could accumulate a bounty. So yeah, I guess that would just pretty much go up based on you just fighting people or committing crimes or stealing people. So yeah, a bounty could rise just based off doing just pirate stuff. Next is Marines. So in the Marines, you could join the Marines. You could rise up the ranks of the Marines from the Troy Boy all the way up until Admirals or Fleet Admiral. I'll talk about that another time. About how you can reach that level. You would capture pirates, throw them in jail, impale down. I will also talk about that later. You're probably not going to really come in contact with the bounty hunter because bounty hunters don't really. That's a lie. Zoro was a bounty hunter, so yeah. That's what Marine does. Revolutionary Army. It's a very interesting faction. So as that, I believe they have positions in the Revolutionary Army, such as the Northwest, South, and East commanders. You have Sabo's position as Chief of Staff. You have Ivankov, the Grand Line Commander, and obviously Dragons is the chief of. But I think I guess I'll just call him the leader of the Revolutionary Army. I can't think of the name of his position right now, but yeah. So there are positions that you can go through there. You will probably receive main missions to just fight against Marines or destroy government structures or something like that. Go against the government. You probably wouldn't fight pirates often, unless you're like Sabo. Oh yeah, and you might come in contact with bounty hunters because they also have wanted posters. So yeah, bounty hunters, like I said, this is kind of the oddball of the bunch. So I know bounty hunters don't really get respected in One Piece. They haven't been since Zoro. We first found out Zoro was one back in episode 2. But I feel like in this game it will work a lot better. People will probably like that. It's like you're a pirate, but you're not. You're a pirate hunting other pirates. Yeah, and Revolutionary Army members for their bounties. So I feel like that's be a pretty cool thing that gives people another thing to watch out for. There would probably be ranks like that too. They don't have an official rank for bounty hunters, but you can maybe do like S rank, A rank, B rank, C rank, D rank, so stuff like that. And yeah, you're pretty much all you're doing is just capturing criminals, and you probably wouldn't really come in contact with Marines unless you get a bounty yourself from committing crimes. And finally, the Sea of Origin. So there would be 4 seas of origin. I mean, 4 of the blue seas that we know of. And in this game, I feel like you should be able to pick which one you're from. And the reason for that is each of them have a different difficulty. So what I mean by that is, so depending on the blue sea that you choose to be from, that determines how strong, that determines on how difficult your first part of your journey is going to be. Like for example, we know canonically from everyone, from Oda himself, and characters in the series, that the East Blue is said to be the weakest sea out of the 4. Even though it like produced some of the strongest characters in One Piece, but overall, on average, the East Blue has been portrayed as the weakest sea of them all. So if you're a player and you choose to be from the East Blue, basically the characters, the NPCs you fight, they would be a lot easier to beat. It'd be a lot easier to find certain things, and that's like essentially East Blue is like easy mode, and it would go like that, depending on which of the blue seas you are from. And I have a list of it. So it's East Blue, South Blue, West Blue, and North Blue. That's from easy to hard. So I have a reason for those, and that's because of the characters who are from there, the islands that are in those seas, and yeah. So I have a reason for why I set up that way. So like I said, it goes East Blue, South Blue, West Blue, North Blue. So yeah, that's pretty much the character customization system, how that would go in this. I will dive deeper into that in another video. So let's move on to ships. So in this game, everyone would need a ship because there's mostly water in the One Piece world. This map would be like full of water. Like you'd be on the sea for like majority of the traveling distance. So you need a ship. Everyone needs a ship. So yeah, and you should be able to customize that ship. And so you can customize the ship. Change the color of the wood, the mast, all that. You could customize the Jolly Roger or a logo to put on the ship, and that would be like your crew logo. The crew logo of your Marine crew or your pirate crew, or just endless customization when it comes to the ship. I feel like that would be pretty cool. Everyone would have their own type of ship. It would be a lot of unique ships out there, I think. Now let's get to the good part, Devil Fruits. So Devil Fruits will spawn in random locations in the game, mostly by trees, but sometimes you might even find them you might even be able to steal them back from someone, like pirates or Marines. Obviously, if you ate a Devil Fruit, you would not be able to go into the water in this game. Like you could go in there, but you would die. Like you would sink to the bottom and die. And an interesting mechanic I thought about in this game is so dying with Devil Fruit. So like now, obviously, if you die in the game, you would be able to respawn. But if you're a Devil Fruit eater, you will lose your fruit when you die, and it will randomly spawn it somewhere else. This not only allows you to try out multiple Devil Fruit powers, but it also allows players to try out the Devil Fruit you've had as well. Most people won't have a Devil Fruit, so that's like the actual series. So like you want people to have equal chances to be something. And then if you really want to keep the power that you have, just don't die. Just be good. Don't suck. So yeah, every Devil Fruit canon and non-canon will be available in this game. Everything we've seen, all the movies, all the other games. Yeah, so everything we've seen, every Devil Fruit we've seen will be available in this game. So it'll be a bunch of Devil Fruits out there. Obviously, you have the Devil Fruit types of Paramecia, Zoan, and Logia. So quick rundown of those. So Paramecia, you can manipulate a substance over your body. Zoans, you can change into a type of animal. They have the mythical Zoans, you can turn into mythical animals. Ancient Zoans, you can turn into ancient animals, so dinosaurs and whatnot. And then Logia, you turn into you can control and create an element. In this game, if you have a Logia fruit and you're getting attacked by people who don't have HAKI, you're completely intangible. So Logias would be pretty overpowered in this game, just like they are in the actual series. that brings me into HAKI. So HAKI will also be available in this game. You would every all three types of HAKI will be available. So observation, armament, and conquerors, and they will all work similar to how they work in this series. So observation, you wouldn't quite be able to look into the future, but you could sense people's auras. You could see them on the map. I mean, you can see people appear up on your map. You can see people probably through walls, like their aura or whatever. Kind of like how it worked in the World Seeker. I like the way they did that. So yeah, you wouldn't be able to look into the future. I don't know if you can't give a player a future sight. Maybe you can. I don't know how you could work that into the game. Maybe it's like an automatic dodge. So I'll get more into that later. And then you have armament HAKI, obviously, that allows you to fight Logia users. Your character even have like black coated arms or weapons or whatever you have. So yeah, that's armament HAKI. And then Conqueror's HAKI. Conqueror's HAKI will work just like it does in the series. So like your character will output a huge blast of their willpower, and that will knock out players who are, I want to say, who don't have HAKI and who are weaker than you. So yeah, they'll probably only work on people that are weaker than you or don't have like equal skill on HAKI as you. You can only acquire HAKI by doing two things: leveling up your character to like level 50 and above. Like level 50 will probably awaken your observation and armament HAKI, or just observation. Because I feel like at some point you can't just like, even if you don't use the second way I'm going to talk about in a second, I feel like at some point your character just needs to awaken it, just like similar to how Kobe did it in Marineford. He just awakened the observation HAKI. So yeah, I feel like at some point, if you don't do my second option, the first option should just be leveling up your character. Keep in mind that that does not guarantee you get Conqueror's HAKI. The second way, so like, it would be just like how Rayleigh taught Luffy during the 2-year time skip. So yeah, so either you level up your characters to level 50 and above, or you find a random HAKI teacher at an early stage. And then finally, the gameplay. I probably should bring that in first, but I feel like I want to get all the juicy stuff out the way. So the gameplay, I want to break it down. So let's start with the user interface. Players would be put in a third-person camera angle with a mini-map, a health bar, a stamina bar, and a HAKI meter, if you have HAKI, and an inventory of items, weapons, and armor, and more. You also have like a quest/missions list and a crew manager in the pause menu. So, think something like Monster Hunter World a little bit, like think about that user interface. Free roaming, players can go to almost every island shown in the series, and even new ones that would be made for this game. So I would imagine that like there would be new places made for this game, like in different blues. Like we obviously haven't seen all the islands in One Piece. And I'm pretty sure the development team, and even Oda, if he wants a piece of this game, can even design new places that we haven't seen, or maybe we've heard about but we haven't seen. There will be multiple different forms of traveling, like obviously running, swimming, flying. If you have a flying devil fruit, and ships will be like the best way to travel. And if also another thing I thought about while free roaming, people should check out for is that your faction and your race determines the reactions from NPCs and players in certain areas. So what I mean by this is, think about if you're a pirate and you go into Marineford. So that would be like the stupidest thing to do ever, unless you have an army like Whitebeard did. Obviously, if you're going to Marineford, you're probably going to get arrested. It's like it's the equivalent of getting like an immediate 5 stars on GTA. Like, there's just places that you shouldn't go as a pirate, and the same for other races and factions. So like places like that, this just depends. Depending on where you go, like that, like and what you're a part of, like what faction you're part of, and what your race, that could determine like how NPCs treat you in the game. And then finally, battle. This game would be similar to that of like the Dragon Ball Kakarot kind of approach, I want to say, but not completely. So like you would have a lock-on feature. You would be able to you could lock on one. You could fight multiple characters at one time, but you will lock on to one. You will have a button for melee attacks, a button function for HAKI and devil fruit attacks. You could equip you could equip different fighting techniques, weapons, and attacks to use during battle, just like in Dragon Ball's universe. Like I said, you can fight multiple players at once. You can start huge wars between pirates crews and against the Navy if you want to. Like, I feel like this could be one of the coolest things ever. Like, just imagine your character. Just imagine you and your crew going against a whole another crew, and like you guys have this like big battle royale, like not battle royale, but like a big war. Like, just imagine how cool that would be. Like, just out of nowhere, like you just pull up to someone on an island and you guys just start banging it out. Like, I feel like that would be like one of the coolest things ever. So yeah, but I want to get into all that later. I'm not later, but like in a different video. I want to break down each of these mechanics I've talked about today into different like videos to go into like a deeper dive of them. And go into a deeper dive so you can understand each of the mechanics for this game. But yeah, that's all for now. But I will come back and talk about character customization another time in my next video. So that's all for now. Make sure you subscribe. Click the link in the notifications for the next video. Like the video. Thank you. My name is Red Ronnie, and this has been Perfect Anime Games. Peace.